The stage is set, the lights are bright, anticipation hangs in the air as the world waits for the next act in the royal drama to unfold. And at the centre stands Prince William, the future King of England, wearing a mask of concern that seems carefully chosen for the occasion. We're told he's a man of compassion, a leader for a new era, someone who will guide the monarchy into modern times with empathy and understanding. The royal press machine works overtime, painting him as the steady, empathetic soul the monarchy needs, crafting headlines and stories that reinforce this image day after day. But for many, the performance feels rehearsed, gestures too practiced, timing too perfect, as if every move is choreographed for maximum effect. Authenticity can't be manufactured or scheduled by a communications team, no matter how skilled they are at managing appearances. True compassion is revealed in private actions, not just public displays, in the moments when no cameras are rolling and no audience is watching. When we compare this curated image to what we know from behind the scenes, the cracks begin to show and doubts start to surface. The compassionate king narrative unravels when you look beyond the spotlight, beyond the carefully managed events, and into the reality that lies beneath. For every orchestrated moment, there's a history of private actions that tell a different story, one of division, enforced silence, and relationships strained behind palace walls. The audience is restless, questioning a story that simply doesn't add up, sensing that something vital is missing from the narrative they're being fed. The performance is wearing thin, and the truth is harder to hide, as the world begins to look past the facade and demand something real. Let's talk about emotion, something we all experience, yet not everyone is allowed to show in the same way. There's a double standard at play, especially when it comes to public figures and the way their feelings are perceived. Take Prince Harry, for example. He was relentlessly scrutinized for his vulnerability, often labeled unstable or weak, simply for showing real human emotion. When he bravely spoke about his pain and mental health struggles, he was accused of betraying the institution and breaking royal protocol. Meanwhile, Prince William is praised for the very same displays. His somber tone and emotional moments are hailed as signs of kingly depth and maturity. The hypocrisy is glaring. Emotion is celebrated in one brother, yet condemned in the other, as if the rules change depending on who you are. This isn't really about genuine feeling. It's about who gets to control the narrative and who is allowed to be seen as human. The media's selective celebration of emotion is a calculated PR move, carefully rehabilitating one image while sacrificing another for the sake of public perception. Harry's honesty and openness exposed a system deeply uncomfortable with truth and vulnerability, especially when it challenges tradition. William's compassion, though praised, rings hollow in a world where his own brother was punished for the same authenticity. True empathy would have meant standing up for Harry, not just performing for cameras and headlines now. You can't claim compassion or moral high ground while benefiting from a system that crucified your own family member for being real. The double standard is impossible to ignore, and it says more about the system than the people caught within it. The British press and the palace have a toxic, symbiotic relationship, trading access for positive coverage. Prince William is cast as the hero, every move framed as strategic genius or dignified restraint. In contrast, Harry and Meghan were painted as villains, their actions twisted and weaponized. The media machine, fed by palace sources, built a relentless campaign against them, impacting their mental health and safety. This isn't journalism, it's narrative control. Stories are planted, corrections buried, and the palace's silence is a tacit endorsement. Now the same machine builds up William as the compassionate king-in-waiting, drowning out criticism. The glowing coverage of William is inseparable from the brutal treatment of Harry and Meghan. It's two sides of the same manipulative coin. You can't claim the moral high ground while benefiting from a system that destroys your own. We must see this PR game for what it is. A new narrative has emerged, claiming that Harry and Meghan are living in fear of Prince William's power and influence. Let's be clear, this is pure projection, not grounded in reality. It's a narrative spun to serve a particular agenda. It's a strategic move designed to paint the couple who chose to leave as scared and the one who stayed behind as dominant and unyielding. True power doesn't need to constantly remind you of its presence or plant stories about fear and intimidation. This narrative reeks of palace insecurity, a clear sign they're losing their grip and control over the public narrative. Harry and Meghan are writing their own script, building a new kind of influence that the traditional monarchy simply can't control or contain. The palace's fear narrative reveals its own desperation and anxiety about becoming irrelevant in a rapidly changing world. Harry and Meghan have faced down the institution and relentless media scrutiny, choosing freedom and authenticity over fear and control. Their actions consistently demonstrate courage and resilience, not intimidation or fear. Suggesting they now live in fear of William is not just illogical, it's downright insulting to their intelligence and strength. It's a flimsy attempt to rewrite history and diminish their undeniable strength and independence. The real fear, the true anxiety, lies within the palace walls, where tradition struggles against change. The Sussexes have moved on to new beginnings. The institution, however, remains stuck in the past. While the palace plays PR games, Harry and Meghan are busy living. They've launched successful ventures, championed causes, and built a global platform. They're not just surviving, they're thriving, proving life outside the institution is far from barren. Their journey is about moving forward, raising their children in peace, and building a legacy of impact. Independence means defining your own path, not clinging to titles. The royal family clings to tradition, but Harry and Meghan's authenticity resonates in a modern world. They connect directly, without palace filters, showing you don't need a crown to have influence. The more they succeed, the more the palace's attacks seem petty and outdated. Harry and Meghan have left the drama behind. They're making a difference on their own terms. True power is creating the life you want, not defending an outdated institution. We can't discuss Meghan Markle's treatment without addressing race. From the start, coverage was laced with prejudice, her background scrutinized, her actions contrasted with Kate's. The angry black woman trope played out on a global stage. Meghan was held to impossible standards, criticized for qualities celebrated in others. The relentless attacks were inseparable from her racial identity. The palace's silence in the face of racism was a profound betrayal. Protecting the institution mattered more than protecting family. When Harry spoke out, he was dismissed as oversensitive. This context matters. How can we believe in William's compassion now, when there was none for Meghan? True empathy would have meant standing with her, challenging the media, and supporting his brother. The absence of action then makes today's performance of empathy feel hollow and offensive. There's a difference between institutional power and personal influence. The monarchy's power is inherited, rigid, and depends on public acceptance. William embodies this, his importance defined by birthright. In contrast, Harry and Meghan have built influence through authenticity and connection. Their power is earned, not inherited, and resonates on a human level. The palace can control titles, but not public sentiment. The more Harry and Meghan build their platform, the more the monarchy's power looks fragile. Desperate PR campaigns are attempts to reassert old power over new influence. But the world is changing. People value authenticity over pomp. Harry and Meghan's journey shows real power is about connection and impact. The palace clings to its illusion, but influence is shifting elsewhere. The monarchy can't ignore this new reality. Ultimately, it all comes down to authenticity. You can stage a performance, but you can't fake what's real. The compassionate king routine is just that, a routine. Real leadership means living your values, not just performing them. The public knows the difference between managed image and genuine character. Harry and Meghan have chosen authenticity over obligation, speaking their truth despite the cost. They've moved on from palace drama, writing their own story. The curtain will fall on this royal performance, but the truth will remain. You can't build a modern monarchy on double standards and manufactured emotion. Real leadership is about integrity, not image. No PR can hide what's in a person's heart. The world is watching, waiting for something real. The performance is over. It's time for authenticity to take the stage.
To all my amazing and curious Sussex family, thank you all for watching our videos, and do not forget to subscribe, like, and put a comment. Bye bye. See you in our next episode. Bye.